Hey guys, it's May 22nd. I'm going to do a video update today. I will do video updates periodically. I do this because it's difficult to get everybody at one session at one time. So if I give updates, not everybody gets them if I do it in person. Also, our training time is really valuable. So I don't want to waste your time with me talking to you when we could be training. Doing video updates gives me the ability to spread some information, and then you can listen to this when you have time. Okay, so if you don't know, I do the program with you. You can check out videos of my training sessions on my social media. My training session videos are posted on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. So they're posted the day you do the workout at 9 a.m. before you train. On my social media channels, you will see a short video of highlights of me doing the workout. So I'm on YouTube, Instagram, X, and Facebook. My handle on all of those is at Chris Netley DC. Facebook's, I think, a little bit different. You just type in Chris Netley DC. Now, if you don't have social media and you don't have any ambition to get on social media, you don't have to. You can see all of this on YouTube. So when you get on my YouTube channel, this is what it looks like currently. Actually, here we are. Here's the home screen. Now, if you want to see the shorts, just scroll down and you'll see shorts. So short videos are anything under a minute. Now you're going to see everything I post on social media, so there'll be stuff in here that doesn't necessarily directly pertain to Fit Club, but may be interesting for you. You can also look at shorts by clicking up here on the shorts tab. Again, it'll show you everything that I've posted. Now, I have created a playlist specifically for you guys. So if you scroll across this bar to playlists, you'll see Fit Club 2024. When you click on it, it's going to show, right now there are 2 workout videos in here because you've lifted twice. So I've posted both videos before. This video that you're watching right now, by the time you're looking at it, will be in this as well. This playlist will have everything that pertains specifically to Fit Club 2024. Now, if you get on at 9 a.m. and you go to this playlist, you may not see the video in here because I use a third-party app that helps me post everything to all of my social media at once, and then I have to go in, for example, I have to go into YouTube and actually pull it over into the folder. So if you get on and you look at the folder and you think, oh man, it's 9 a.m. I don't see anything posted yet, just go back and then look at the shorts. It'll be the first one on there that you'll see. Okay, now let's go over some common goals and concerns. I read through all of the surveys that you submitted, and I want to share some stuff with you because you all wrote about yourself individually, but you don't have the benefit of looking at everybody else's paperwork. You don't really get to know necessarily the people around you and what their goals and concerns are. So I think this might be important to help bring you guys together as a team a little bit more. After reading all of them, almost everybody wants to be healthy and active as you age. So many of you are thinking about longevity. This is really exciting for me because I spend a lot of time with 19 and 20-year-olds who don't care about longevity at all. So to work with people who are actively thinking about it and working towards it is refreshing because that's what I want. So we're on the same page. Most people in this group want to lose weight and keep off the weight. Now, weight loss is, at this point, based on all the evidence that I've read, 99.99% has to do with nutrition, right? Caloric balance is huge. I'll leave a little room for error there because we don't know everything, and that could change. But I say that because I don't think that maybe I was this explicit last time when we started with the last group, and people started to get discouraged because not only were they not losing weight, some people were gaining weight. Now that brings us to the next bullet. Most of you want to build muscle. So the fat loss muscle building process works different for everybody. They overlap. But if you don't work on your diet, let's say you're over consuming, you're eating too much, and then you start strength training, there's a very realistic possibility that you're going to put on some muscle mass and not lose any body fat, and your weight will shoot up. And even if you're losing body fat and building muscle at the same time, muscle is relatively dense and heavy, so you can still gain weight. or you may just stay weight stable and it's frustrating. So I don't want you to get frustrated. I want you to understand that those things are normal. Now, if you are really, really concerned about weight loss, which I think there are several people who are, take the nutrition component seriously. Now, the email that I sent where you got the link to this video contains some attachments. One of the attachments is going to be a reminder of the schedule for our lectures on nutrition. Now, those are only 10 to 15 minutes, and those are going to be with Denise Lovinger, a registered dietitian nutritionist. Denise is great, and I know you're going to love her. The information for most people is not enough. It's just all the time that we have. So I would encourage you to, once you get to know her, to connect with her and to start working on some of this stuff. Now, something else I'm going to do for you in this email, I'm going to include a list of podcast links. Denise and I, over the last few months, have started working on creating some nutrition podcasts. So these are long form discussions over specific topics. Most of them are about an hour. Now you can get these on Apple Podcasts. You can listen on Spotify, and they're posted on YouTube. So while you're doing your cardio this summer, maybe that's a good time to start consuming some of this content, especially before we start to hear Denise, because you may actually come up with better questions if you've listened to her talk for a while on the subject. It'll help you get to know her better, and it may help you get to know me better as well, because I'm on the podcast, so you'll start to understand how I think about things. Now, most of you want to improve nutrition, which is awesome, because that's pretty much all that I've been talking about so far. So I think you're all going in the right direction. We're just going to help guide you to help you get where you want. Now, many of you are on blood pressure and cholesterol medication. I bring that up because I am on blood pressure and cholesterol medication. Some of you expressed the desire to get off the meds. This is another interesting topic for you to discuss with Denise one-on-one, because everybody's a little bit different. I'll share my story. I have family history working against me, apparently. Heart disease and everything that comes along with heart disease runs in my family. So I am genetically predisposed to high cholesterol and high blood pressure. I have been doing everything that I can for a long time with diet and lifestyle and exercise. And it's still now in my 40s, not where we want it to be. And I'm coming up on the age or ages, the decades where, heart attacks are a real possibility. So for me, and I'm just sharing this information with you to help connect us, but I take blood pressure and cholesterol medication because diet and exercise and lifestyle are not enough at this point. I hope that someday I can find the right balance, but I haven't found it yet. So if you're on the meds, that's probably actually a good thing because they were prescribed for a reason. If you have a desire to get off the meds, it is possible for some people, but that's going to take some work with someone like Denise, probably in coordination with your primary care physician. So that's a common concern. Some other people are concerned about bone density. I bring that up because nutrition and strength training are great for bone density. So I think you're on the right path. Now, let's look at some of the other stuff that you put in your survey. Let's look at your reported activity levels. Let's start with resistance training. 41% of you do not resistance train before, or did not before this program. And 25% said you resistance train 0 to 1 time per week. Now, something that's very common with people who, in large populations that self-report activity levels, we tend as humans to overestimate. The same thing in nutrition research. So I would imagine that is a little bit bigger. So I would wager to say that essentially 75% of you don't lift or didn't before this program, which is great because 100% of you who finish this program will be able to say, yeah, for the last 6 months, I've been strength training 3 or more times per week. Now, we do those dedicated strength sessions 2 times a week, but I would say kettlebell training that we've been doing on Friday definitely counts as resistance training. So stick with the program and you'll get to answer that question at some point if anyone ever asks, 3 or more times per week. Now, if we go to aerobic training, It looks like we have a little bit more participation in aerobic training. 16% of you said never, and 25% said less than 30 minutes per week. Usually people say they do more aerobic training than resistance training because I think it's a little bit easier to do. It doesn't really take any coaching. But if you think about it, we have 2 dedicated aerobic training sessions per week. But think about your heart rate when you're strength training. It's elevated the whole time. We do a warm-up that gets your heart rate up, and then you're lifting. You're putting your muscles under stress, and that requires you to increase your heart rate. We do it on Fridays as well. So if you stick with this program for 6 months, you're definitely doing more than 90 minutes of aerobic training per week for 6 months. Now, if you're strength training 3 or more times per week, and you're doing moderate to vigorous cardio for over 90 minutes a week, and you're doing your step count where you're getting 8,000 to 12,000 steps per day, and you're doing all this consistently for 6 months, it is not possible to fail. Now, that 6 months is just the start, but you will see changes, definitely. So stick with it. All right, let's look at confidence levels. I created this question, by the way, so this isn't off of some validated, way to assess confidence. But if asked to design an effective fitness program, rate your current level of confidence. No one in the group has high confidence. That's not uncommon. 13% of you have no confidence. The bulk are in the low confidence. Now, I use this with my students. We ask at the beginning of the semester, and it actually usually looks very similar to this. But after 15 weeks of training, doing a similar program that you guys are doing, that shifts. We see the bulk of it to be actually moderate to high confidence. So I will ask you this question again towards the end of the program for those of you who graduate. And I would like to see that shift, because if you think about it, after 6 months, how many warm-ups will you have done? How many times will you have pulled a kettlebell off a rack, you know what I mean, and put it back? How many times will you have gotten on and off the bike and measured your heart rate and thought about Borg RPE? You will have done 3 or more fitness tests. You should be able to look at your experience for 6 months and have at least moderate confidence that you could go to the gym day after day and replicate that. That's my goal, because this is the sustainability piece. So if I can help you build confidence over the next 6 months, we win. So we're going to look to improve here. Okay, let's look at the step test. Now, don't be discouraged. Keep in mind that I engineered this test for failure. My goal was to set you up for failure. So if we go to the bottom, it says DNF, that's did not finish. 13% of you did not finish the test. Now I want you to hold your heads up high, because you were the first Fit Club group to do this test as it is. The previous group did a 3-minute step test at 125 beats per minute. You did a 6-minute step test at 130 beats per minute. So I doubled the time and increased the pace. My goal was to engineer at least a 50% failure rate, and I would define failure as did not finish or falling off pace. And so I overshot a little bit, but it worked. Now, if we look at the off pace, those are you finished the 6 minutes, but you fell off pace. And that was the bulk, right? That's 52% of the participants. So when we look at retesting in August, I want to see a shift upwards. I want those DNFs that did not finish. You're going to finish. We're going to make sure of that. Even if you're off pace, you're going to finish. Ideally, those 13% of DNFs finish on pace. Now, the off pace people, your goal, finish on pace. It's quite simple. Now, let's look at the people who finished on pace, because I use their heart rate and Borg numbers, that data, for the statistical analysis. So of the people who finished on pace, the average heart rate at the end of the test was 139.2 beats per minute, and the average Borg RPE rating was a 14. Now, if you look at the Borg scale here, 14 is between somewhat hard and heavy. So it's challenging. Now, ideally, if this program is working, which I know it will, for those who stick with it and keep training, we will see more people finish on pace. And I would like to see that average heart rate drop, so it's less stressful on the heart. And I would like to see that average Borg RPE rating drop, which means psychologically, when you think about it, it was less stressful. That's the goal. Other tests. Hand release push-up test. The average score was 14.8 reps. Now, I stole this hand release push-up test from the Army. I spoke to someone who's in the Army, and I told him what we were doing, and he looked confused, and basically because that test is really hard. He was surprised that I had Fit Club people do it, and I said, yeah, they did it. I just don't tell them how hard it's going to be, and then they do their best. So 14.8 reps as an average is not that bad, actually. I'm actually very impressed. But as you can tell, we do a lot of push-ups in this program. You're going to get very comfortable in push-up position. So we're going to look for that number to go way up. Now the average dead hang was 54.1 seconds. Again, pretty good. I'm actually surprised in a very good way. Now that's going to improve a lot, just because for the next 6 months, you're going to pick up heavy stuff a lot. Your grip strength and the endurance in your grip is going to go up. And we're going to be hanging from pull-up bars. We're going to work on pull-ups. We're going to do all that good stuff. So we're going to see that improve a lot. That's my goal. All right, that's it for the update. Again, check the email for the attachments and for the nutrition information and for the nutrition podcast links. Also, check out the YouTube page. Look at the shorts. If you want to, in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays before we train, get on YouTube shorts at 9 a.m. or before training, and you can see a video of me doing the workout, and check out your playlist, because I will put this video and other videos in the playlist that I think will be relevant to you. All right, see you guys tomorrow.